Pleased to be joined now by the one, the only, the legendary, the very good, great, superfluous friend of Blogging the Boys. I believe my best friend in the whole world at this point in time. You know him, you love him. It is DeMarcus Ware. D-Ware. How does this keep happening? Welcome aboard. Thanks for joining Blogging the Boys during the Super Bowl week.
You know, when we start talking about the boys, you know who they want talking about the boys, and it's you, man. So it's always a great opportunity to, talk about the boys, talk about Hall of Fame, talk about football, Super Bowl, and everything. So it's a cool opportunity every time.
I'm going to get to a lot of things, obviously. I'm going to get to Sleep Number. That's why you're here. We love Sleep Number. But you actually mentioned it right before we started recording. I've promised you two different things. First, I promised you that I was going to get you a DeMarcus Ware photo from my office. That is going to happen. Just, but allow me to explain everything. But I one-upped that the last time we spoke because I said, I got to get a jersey at this point in time.
Yep.
Do you know? I would imagine but you have a lot of people. Like when you're DeMarcus Ware, you have people for things. You're sold out. Do you know this? Did you know that your jersey is sold out everywhere?
I didn't know. I didn't know that it was sold out, but I mean, you're RJ. You see what I'm saying? RJ should be able to get a 94 jersey with all of that Cowboy memorabilia back there. You should be able to get one.
So here's where I'm at. I've got a photo right here that I found of your jersey. So I've got it. But here's my thing. When I was growing up, they used to make jerseys. My dad has a Troy Aikman one that you could buy that would have the Pro Football Hall of Fame patch on it. And I always thought that was so cool that my dad had that. So I can't find your jersey. I'm assuming that we're talking on Wednesday, February 8th. I'm assuming that things should, I don't want to say anything, go a certain way in the next 30 or so hours. And if they go a certain way, I would imagine that there will be a large influx of DeMarcus Ware jerseys in all retail stores across the world. Is that not fair to say?
You know what? There will be. And then there's a good opportunity that RJ can then get one with the Hall of Fame patch on there. So hopefully it happens and you don't have to worry about the inventory being out.
That's my plan. So my pledge to you is I'm going to wait so I can have that patch because that's what it deserves. You deserve that patch on your life. Yeah. You deserve the gold jacket. You deserve the bronze bust. I've asked you about this before. We talked about it a year ago. Have you allowed yourself to think about the next day and your life could change. There's not, you're a father, you know what I mean? Like you've done all these sorts of things, but like your life, all Wares in the future could change in the next 30 hours.
Yeah, my life has changed a couple of times when I got drafted, when I retired, and now, could be if I, put this yellow jacket on. But the fourth one is getting a Sleep Number bed. That's I'm not kidding. That's changed my life. This has been one of those things after 2 neck surgeries, 4 back surgeries. I sleep good, man. I feel like, somebody's holding me at night and I feel good and I'm able to sleep through the whole night. So those are critical, life-changing things that I carry on with me for sure.
I would definitely put Sleep Number in that group. You didn't mention winning the Super Bowl. Maybe there's 5 if you count that.
There's 5. Yeah. We can add other things in there, but I'm just talking about where we are right now.
Sure. Sleep Number is the official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL, and currently 80% of active roster players benefit from the improved sleep performance on Sleep Number smart beds. I saw Cooper Kupp actually on Good Morning Football the day that you and I are talking. He was talking about Sleep Number, and he said he's a firm guy. You've mentioned that before. It seems like if you're a rough and tough NFL player, that you kind of like a firmer side of the mattress.
Yeah, at first I had it at around 50, and now I have it cranked up to all the way 100. I mean, it's one of those things where if it's cranked up to the firmness of 100, it still moves. It still, cradles you at night. Like sometimes your calves or your back's hurting, and the bed just moves. It's almost like you're floating on a cloud or something like that. But that's the cool part about it. And the last time we did speak, you said you were going to look into it with your wife, but I forgot. My memory is really good. You said you were going to let her know that the Sleep Number bed, y'all need to look into it because you said your mattress was a little messed up. I don't know why, but we got to look into it.
You do have a great memory. You're actually kind of a part of my household. You recommended a movie that my wife and I did watch, within our home. You obviously impacted our Sleep Number conversation. Now there's a purchase that's going to be made in your honor, obviously. And you know what? A donation to charity, whatever charity DeMarcus Ware chooses, will also get that going because it has been way too long at this point in time. You mentioned the last time we spoke, it was ahead of the Cowboys playoff win on the road against the Buccaneers. It was just an incredible week that obviously ended, 6 days later when they lost to San Francisco. What were your impressions from the Cowboys playoff win? Did they kind of live up to what you thought they could be? I mean, it had been a very, very long time since they had won a road playoff game, as you well know. Was it cool? Were the vibes great for you to see Mike and everybody have a good time?
It was great to see the vibe of the team, to see Micah, to see DeMarcus Ware, see the guys leading, especially like the offensive guys, and to see Dak play like he did, and to be able to win a game with authority, knowing that the game before it was a little bit of challenge, a big challenge with the interceptions, and then the game after that, you saw them revert back, and it's one of those things where you see the team and how they should play. And if they play that way, I mean, 90% of the time they win football games and they'll get further on. But if you turn the football over, it doesn't matter how good you are and how good you play, you'll lose games to, San Fran, which they should have won and still could have won.
It's really frustrating, obviously. A lot of Cowboys fans still like moping around after the team lost to the 49ers for the second year in a row.
I am too.
I don't know if you've seen this, and I don't know if this offends you. Believe me, it's not my intention. But a lot of people, on the subject of Sleep Number, Dak Prescott, a very famous Sleep Number advocate himself. A lot of people are saying that Dak Prescott is now Tony Romo. That really bothers me. It really upsets me. But I'm sure you've seen the tweets and the memes and the things. Their playoff records are identical, and now people are saying that they're just kind of stuck in the same way, or rather that Dak is stuck in the same way that Romo was. I've long said, it's unfortunate that you guys couldn't get it done, obviously, but Romo had help. He had you. He had Jason Witten, right? Like he had T.O., early on. Like it's people make it too much about the quarterback sometimes. Do you feel like that is fair to say Dak is in this territory that Tony was throughout his career?
I think you can't compare the two players. They're two different players. Romo was a phenomenal player. Dak is a phenomenal player as well. But one thing you can tag to both of them is turn the football over. I'm a very honest guy, and when the big games happen, they turn the football over. If we don't turn the football over, they would probably go down, and Romo would probably go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play, especially if he would have won a Super Bowl, right? And the same thing with Dak. He would have sort of broke that streak without turning the football over. I know that, they would have beat San Fran in that game and would probably beat the next team too and been in the freaking playoffs. So, and they're probably in the Super Bowl. So, I'm still a little salty about that. But if we don't turn the football over, we'll be right where we need to be.
I agree with you. I mean, one of the bigger points in the playoff loss was the interception at the end of the first half. Looked like the Cowboys were driving. San Francisco gets the ball. They go get a field goal. That was a big swing in the game, obviously. Mm-hmm. It's a tough time, obviously, when this happens. It's hard for Cowboys fans to watch the Super Bowl. I'm sure it's not easy for you to watch the Eagles be in the Super Bowl. I loved when you did hit free agency in 2014, how you were like, I'm not going to go there. So first of all, respect. But who are you picking to win this game? Philly, Kansas City? Where's your heart?
I got to go with Kansas City because I feel like they're still a Dallas team. They split from Dallas in 19 something, and they're in Kansas City, but they're still a Dallas-led team. That's the way I feel. I can't go for Philly. I can't go with Fly Eagles Fly. I've heard that so many times with those touchdowns they scored on us in that cannon, and heard that whatever that song that they sung, it's not gonna come out of my mouth. I can't go with Philly. I got to go with KC.
My last question. I heard Miles Sanders say on Super Bowl opening night that the best or most formidable trash talker that he's encountered is DeMarcus Lawrence. So who did you have the most contentious relationship with regards to playing the Eagles specifically? What Eagle were you just like, I don't know, maybe it was trash talk or just physical violence? Like who on the Eagles teams in your time, you played many games against Philly, really kind of sticks out in your memory?
Against the Eagles, I'm trying to think about who was the biggest threat. You know what? Probably Sean Andrews. A lot of people don't remember Sean Andrews, but he was a phenomenal player. And we used to crush people in the trenches, but he talked so much trash and he backed it up. He was like a Larry Allen, right? So, he talked a lot of trash. I didn't have to go against him that much, but he was one of those dudes that really got under my skin.
DeMarcus Ware, I hope your skin is comfortable. It's at the right temperature on your Sleep Number bed. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said, I'm getting that Ware jersey with the Hall of Fame patch. Every single Cowboys fan, every single football fan rooting for you in the next day and a half. So DeMarcus, best of luck. I hope to speak to you again with a particular designation in front of your name. Be well and enjoy the rest of the week.
All right, thank you so much.